Across Africa, finding adequate, affordable, quality and accessible healthcare can be a major challenge for many people. With uneven development of health facilities across the continent, some countries have better healthcare facilities than others. Our reporter Husna Mohammed brings you the story of two Malawian women who made a life-changing journey to access critical and life-saving cancer treatment in Kenya. Their story is in a stark contrast to many Kenyans who have had to fly abroad to find timely and affordable treatment, often in the face of dire financial costs and other challenges. This is their story.
For Chimwemwe Chiduleni, a Malawian mother of 3 young children, a cervical cancer diagnosis marked a major turning point in her life. In fact, it may be easier to say it tore her life apart.
Akamayimva kuti munthu wapezeka nthenda imeneyi anthu ambiri amakhandi pa chiganizo kuti munthu uyu nthenda imeneyi imene wapezeka nayo sachira ndipo amakhala akumakhala kunong'ona kunoti manthenda imene wapezeka nayo munthu uyu ndiopsa kwambiri.
She's not alone in her struggle, though personal as it may be, because she's just one of many women like her in Malawi struggling with cancer. 50-year-old Nancy Kasia was diagnosed with cervical cancer and told she will need expensive cancer treatment.
Ndinapezeka ndi nthenda imeneyi. Ndinapezeka kuti ndinali okhumudwa, ndinakalo ndine mulimi ndimadalira kulima pamwe wanga kuti ndigulitse ndivale nditani ndimadalira kulima. Zinakhudza kwambiri moyo wanga chifukwa yone kuti chiyembekezo cha chakudya ngakhale chaka chinocho ndinchikhulupirira kuti chikhoza kundivuta.
In as much as Nancy was worried about cost of treatment and stressed about what it will mean for her and her family, she was shocked to learn that the preferred mode of treatment that doctors were recommending, radiotherapy, was not readily available in her country, Malawi. That in fact across the entire country of 18.6 million people, there was not a single cancer radiation therapy machine to be had. You see, Malawi, a small country in southern Africa, is one of the poorest in the world and has the first highest percentage of people living in extreme poverty globally. According to the World Bank, more than 2/3 of the population lives in extreme poverty, almost all of whom rely on small-scale farming for their livelihoods. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, its health system is also one of the worst globally. In fact, its health system ranks number 185 out of 190. So for people like Chimwemwe and Nasi, a cancer diagnosis, combined with the little knowledge that is locally available about the disease, is actually a death sentence, unless they can somehow work a miracle and raise the large amounts required to see treatment abroad. Cervical cancer is the 4th most common cancer among women worldwide, and despite being preventable, detectable and treatable, it kills hundreds of thousands of women each year, with an estimated 604,000 new cases and 342,000 deaths in the year 2020 globally. In the landlocked country of Malawi, over 4,000 Malawian women fall sick with cervical cancer every year, with 2,904 deaths due to cervical cancer in 2020.
Pa kugwira ntchito zanga za tsiku ndi tsiku yakhudzabe chifukwa nthenda imeneyi ukamadwala nthawi zambiri ma infection yake amakhala kufoka kupweteka pasana chiuno chimene kupweteka kumene ndebe yakhudzabe pathupi panga zinthu zina ndi zina zakhala ngati zayimirapo.
According to Epicenter MSF Malawi, the high prevalence of human immunodeficiency virus HIV, in addition to human papillomavirus HPV infection, puts Malawian women at higher risk of cervical cancer, with solutions that are working elsewhere difficult to come across locally.
What has been proven to eradicate or to reduce significantly the occurrence of the disease is the HPV vaccine. But when you come to Malawi, it's not even available to a young girl. And then if you go a step further to say screening, again, it's a challenge to screen because of also available of the resources. Is this in unavailability or in inequality in availability of these treatment options that also drive how much you can do and you can offer for the patients.
In nearby Kenya, though, the situation is slightly different, with diagnosis and treatment now gathering pace despite the situation still being dire. Health experts acknowledge that despite the many challenges being experienced in Kenya around cervical cancer diagnosis and treatment, advanced cancer treatment is available in the country. In fact, many Malawians diagnosed and seeking treatment are now being referred to Kenya, offering hope to many.
Za nthenda ya cancer komwe chibwiro ndinamva kuti kuli thandizo la chipatala komanso sinthenda yoti yokatsirana koma ndi nthenda yone kuti ndiyochizika.
The story is in stark contrast to many Kenyans who have to fly abroad to seek timely and affordable treatment, often in the face of dire financial costs. With many Malawians seeking radiotherapy treatment in Kenya, the issue of poverty and cost immediately crops up, as 70% of Malawian people live on less than $2 a day. This means that for many, putting food on the table has been a struggle, let alone a trip to seek treatment abroad. But the tide has been turning, albeit slowly, with the intervention of philanthropy and hard work put in by government and its partners in health. Currently, a new wing of the National Referral Hospital is undergoing construction, with the radiation therapy section being one of the items earmarked as priority.
It is true that as of now, Malawians go outside the country for conditions that need radiotherapy. As I'm speaking, we do not have radiotherapy services in the country. So Malawians go all over. I know some come to Kenya, others go to Tanzania, some even go as far as India, South Africa. The good news is that the National Cancer Center in Lilongwe, civil works are almost complete. The bunkers are done, the concrete roofing is done, and we think the civil works will be completed by the end of March 2024.
Even here, for many Kenyan women, the journey to treatment and health is just beginning. According to the Information Center on HPV and Cancer 2023 Kenya research, every year 5,236 women are diagnosed with cervical cancer, and more than half die from the disease. Cervical cancer ranks as the second most frequent cancer among women in Kenya.
There are areas that are not very well reached, and that is where we come in to try and improve the awareness in those areas. The other thing is that in terms of prevention of cancer, a lot of people have not taken up screening, and screening is very important, especially for cervical cancer. Screening is where you evaluate a person who is apparently healthy and has no symptoms for cancer. And there are ways that you screen for cervical cancer. So taking up that, especially in the rural areas, is not very optimal, and that's why some cases will be diagnosed late. The other thing is that even those who are diagnosed, some of them you'll find they may not be able to access healthcare, all the treatments that we are talking about in terms of geographical reach. Remember, the cancer facilities in Kenya are not very many, and a lot of them are concentrated in the urban areas, especially Nairobi and its environs. So not everyone will be able to readily access that.
Chimwemwe and Nasi are now on their journey to good health. Their battle with cancer has only just started, though they are fully aware that combating cancer is not easy and they have a long journey ahead.
Ulendo wa chemo wa radiotherapy kangarira ulendo 24.
Inetu pachithandizo chimene ndalandira moti panopo treatment ya chemotherapy ndamaliza. Moti panopo ndikamanyamuka ndatha ndi 2 days kuti ndizinyamuka ndizipita ku Malawi.
Chimene chinacho ndisangalatsa kwambiri masiku ambuyo wati makhala bwinobwino. Azimayi azanga amapisa na nyimbo zakwaya ndikumavina ndimasangala kumira zati kumbuditsa njoti wina adwale wina odoleka kwambiri ndikuti sitingakhala tosangalalayi. Pamene kakoti bwinobwino tonse tikamakamba nkhani kumaseka ndimoni kuti zinthu zonse kuyenda limodzi.
Chimwemwe and Nasi will now proudly bear the badge of being cancer survivors. It is an accolade not many Malawian women can share or even aspire to. Just 2 women out of a lucky group of 50 who were sponsored for the trip to Nairobi for treatment. It is a gift that gives them a new lease of life. And while they're returning home with relief and joy, they're going back to a country facing an immense challenge. When it comes to tackling these and other cancers, the need for treatment is immense.
Ndi chiganizo changa panopo ndi maplani anga amene ndimapanga mbuyo munaimitsa kunoti sizingathekebe apandeni ndarani moyo wanga wacha. Koma panopo ndi chiganizo chomapangaso na program anga mbuyo moti panopo ndi chiganizo chomanga nyumba koma nditamva kunoti ndikhasa ndinayima kuti ati abasi silingapange. Koma panopo tapita kwa treatment panopo nopanga na process ndimapanga ma program anga amene mapanga tsogolo panopo moti ndi moyo wanga panopo ndi wathanzi ndipo panopo ndine munthu wosangalala kwambiri kuti ndashira ndithu.
Ine tsogolo langa ndikulondola kwambiri ngakhale panopa ndili kunokodwa ndi mafoni ife ndingapanga so limotira ndi anthu chapzinja bwalima ndikudwala amadikafika ndikuyamba kulatira buloti ndileme ndipo ndilimbe mwamphamvu so.
Their toils and tribulations are shared by millions of others across Africa.
In the fight against cancer, a journey fraught with both resilience and despair, the absence of radiotherapy treatment in Malawi cast a profound shadow of hardship. Imagine facing this uphill battle only to be faced with the harsh reality of inadequate treatment options